Hello, welcome to another episode of Get Rich and Fit Tryin. So after a couple trials and errors, we finally got everything right. So now we're gonna go ahead and get right to it. I'll see you on the other side. Let's go. Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to another episode of Get Rich and Fit Tryin. Let me make sure I got everything set the right way. Okay, we got this on knife entry. All right, let's fix that problem. I need you on 8 grid. There we go. And my 8 grid is in place. Oop. Fix that. Is that 8 grid? Yep, there we go. All right, cool beans. All right. Yeah, I apologize about Galaxy. I thought earnings was at night, but it was in the morning, so that thing took off before. So I hope y'all did what y'all was supposed to do on that one. Also, crazy power outage went out in my neighborhood. Came back on later on. So we're back at it. Hopefully nothing stupid happens again because they did kind of take us out of our routine. Let's get over to NQ. If you haven't been on this show before, it's very simple. We like to do opening range breakouts. So we're going to go ahead and look at the first 15 minutes of the market. Assuming that this is the first 15, right? We're going to go ahead and just box it out. Let's get rid of that. All right. Just going to be like boom, boom. And let's just grab that trusty tool. And we'll be looking for bullish above a line, bearish below a line, and play that side. If there's any tickers that you want me to go ahead and go over, by all means, let me know so that way I can go ahead and go over it. Trade Hero folks, you should already have your gamma levels. That video is inside of the chat as well. So just go ahead, check out the gamma levels for VIX, QQQ, NQ, and relative tickers. All right, so far it looks like they were trying to push the market down. Let me see one last thing. Where's my daily levels? How far are we? So 25,155 is what we're probably going to be aiming for on the downside on NQ. Oh, I forgot to do my prelude. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and the bell button. I went to all this talking and didn't even do that. And share it to your friends and family. If you have any tickers that you want me to look over, you want to get them to me before 9:45, because by then I'm going to start getting into my stride for the futures market. So that said, let's go ahead and get this party started. All right. What tickers? There was a couple things that popped up yesterday late in the afternoon. Lululemon. It kind of showed like it wanted to pop to the upside. I'm looking for levels. Something along the lines of this to happen. Let me bring my trading plan in. Boom. Right. So we had a nice little close above. I think TP could get to 187. Keep that in mind. Oh, there goes the bell. All right, let's get with it. So Lululemon 187 as long as we hold above 180. What up, Giant? Oh, why is it going? You're not in my AirPod. Hold on, let me fix that problem. There we go. Now you're in my AirPod. What's going on, Giant? How are you doing today? I can't complain. Just slowly trying to conquer the world. That's all I'm doing. Waiting for this market to kind of give us a nice little setup. You, of course, Pinky. You were trying to take over the world. Yeah, pretty much. I'm a geek. I apologize. You know, that's the first thing that pops in my head too. And I tried to curve it too. Like as I was saying it, I was like, well, I'm sounding very brainish right now. Let me slow down. So I kind of pivoted. So part of it, I started it that way, and then I ended like, oh, let me switch that up before people think I'm a nerd. But it's too late. It's too late. All right. So this is up here. Let's take that out. Okay. I'm over here trying to play in an experiment, so we're gonna see what's gonna happen here. Let's call it Lulu. Oh, Lulu's breaking down, so it looks like they're pulling that back. We're gonna get over to NQ in a little bit. Just bear with me. Let's get over there. All right, here we go. NQ. Let's see what's going on there, and then I'll check the chats. More of my alerts are coming in, but they're not. They're nothing swing trades. Those are just all my investor stuff. I don't care for that right now. I'm not looking for long term. Marvell is doing a pullback. Let me see what happened with this trade. I did not release this out per se. I was looking for. That is interesting. That was supposed to be a breakdown here. Hold on, I think I got the wrong one open. Yep, this is the older one. I think we are on. Okay, hold on. Gotta get my bearings right. Let me get my right code because I'm tweaking that one. Yeah, it's 12. Let's copy you. Let's bring you here. All right. So we was looking for shorts, and it was tricky because the market was still kind of pushing up, so I didn't even trust these shorts. I'm not even gonna lie to you. So we had push up, and then we had a drop off. I think this will be our indication right here. So we was trying to get this. Oh, I see it now. It's right here. Boom and boom. Right, so we was getting a short here, so we kind of gapped down, but you could kind of see we got the TP1 and TP2 was today after Netflix earnings is the one that pretty much dropped the market. So I think this is starting to give us more signs. Let me get back over to NQ. We're getting more signs that we probably hit the top. We might. Not, it's not confirmed. But coming back to what I talked about earlier, our opening range, we're looking for opening range, something that looks like this with a setup like this, and it's bullish above that line straight. Oh, look at that thing that collapsed. That thing collapsed. Oh, I should take a shot at this, but I'm gonna be patient. I don't want to do anything reckless yet because I don't want to take the open. If I was gonna get in, I would have been in at the top. I want to take some of these QQQ puts. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Where are they aiming? Looks like we're going to be going for this 15-minute fair value gap here. I think I'll probably aim for that one. If we get a penetration to that area, and then maybe a close, and then I might take a shot at it. I'm so mad because you know what I closed yesterday? I had some QQQ Friday puts, and I closed them early. Because I was like, you know what? Just in case. I was red though. Like I was red kind of deep, and I was like, Netflix earnings coming out. Let me just go ahead and take the. I think I had like $15 left out of the $60 I put in there. I was like, I'll just take the 15 and I'll put it into something else. I didn't want to just risk all of it because if Netflix earnings actually popped, it would have been crazy worse. Crazy worse. Oh yeah, they coming for that fair value gap. Look at that bad boy. Look at that. Let me go right here. And itself, boom.
Not me.
Alright, we're taking that first shot. Let's see if this actually pans out. Because I'm going to go ahead and try to short it even further going into that fair value gap. Let's see how much they give. I'm just doing a continuation off that 5 minute. But again, that's very risky. This thing can reverse and go right back inside of that.
Where's my tablet, please?
That's a tablet.
All right. All right, wifey's looking for the tablet. You got your money? Oh, damn it! I wasn't paying attention. I went to go talk to my wife. Come on, come back to me. Why you say that? Why would they not give it to you? Oh, for the 5 days. Yes, yes, you got to do the full 5 days. Correct. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm staring. Well, on QQQ is doing that, but the NQ, we had this imbalance that happened on Monday at 9:45. We're too close for them not to test it, so I thought we was just gonna just keep falling through. So that 200 might be the reason why they're bouncing, but it does not mean that it will bounce. So this is gonna be very interesting right here because we're still forming the opening range at the same time. So I am doing something risky. So I did go on my evaluation just to be on the safe side. But if this thing breaks here, this thing is going to go ahead and fill that whole entire fair value gap. Now they're probably going to wait for the opening range to do the rest as the market is trying to sit on the sidelines. But I wonder, can they do it? Because, you know, Netflix dropped hard. They what? No, no, no. Netflix earnings. I got to cut that. That's too much pain. Yeah. Yeah, this is Netflix earnings right here. Nice little gap down. They got into this and I think Netflix wants to get into 1,000. I think that's the real number and they missed their earnings by 15%. So that's what the market's reacting to. Is it enough to hit some stop losses and people kind of pivot? That's a little. I would say it's a reach because we're still in the uptrend, but we can always play these fair value gaps and try to like really liquidate them along the way. I hear you. It is a lot of red. It is a lot of red. But let's go check out Uber. Uber just popped into my list. What is going? Not Unity. Uber. Come on, catch up. Catch up. Internet, catch up. All right. Let's see. Interesting. So we was actually pushing it up, and it kind of hit its head on the roof there, and it's at break even. So okay, so that means we got a closing order on that one. Okay, let me see it. Yeah, that was a closing order. All right, still nothing. I don't see anything. I do see some plays that could happen. CL, for example. Let me go over there real quick. It was around 8:30 that we put in your favorite tool right there. That's a doji, Javi. They're trying to figure out what they want to do over there. But I know you don't play oil, so we'll leave that alone. Yeah, I actually played a little bit of gold yesterday because it looked like it was setting up. And I did play it to the downside. I would love to see how you feel about the new meme. What meme stock? You gotta give me the tickers. I need the tickers. I can't look up a meme stock. Beyond Meat or BMNR? I know that's one that was so memeish because this is supposed to be like the new Bitcoin ETF, like Misty, and they're using Ethereum. But Beyond, I did hear something about Beyond, and I'm like, oh God, Beyond Meat is $5. It's on the screen. I got it up there. This stock was almost $300 when everybody was switching. They were like, get rid of me. Oh, you know what? He did. Yeah, he wrote in the chat, Beyond Meat. Okay, so Beyond Meat, there's a point where the dirt, like, you can't go through the Earth's core of the market, right? And this thing should have been all the way down to the dirt and just kind of got delisted. But some reason it's still here at 50 cents. So it looks like people piled in for that 50% or 50 cents. And now they should be happy because that thing went up, oof, 10 times. No, that's Beyond Meat. The fake meat. There's Impossible Burgers and then there's Beyond Meat. YND. No, N as in Nancy. Yeah. Yeah. But they have earnings coming up, so I guess people are rallying to it so before the earnings and they're just parking their money. Look, I get the short squeezes, and we'll probably end right there. I get the short squeezes. Short squeezes are fun, but it's the pain of holding throughout until the squeeze starts to take off. Everybody's happy here. That's capitulation, but weathering these pullbacks, like imagine how many people got in at $1 and was like, oh, there's no way it goes lower than $1. Then they lost 50% of their value. These are really, really hard to play. Really hard to play unless you have practice with it and everything else. Like everything that you trade in the market, if you have a history of knowing how it works, run with it. Don't let me steer you wrong. But I would say for the most part, take something off the table. All they have to do is short it again because those short sellers are looking on where they can short it again. Yeah. Yeah. And then they're going to get the FOMO, and then out of nowhere they get in at the wrong price, and then they get kidnapped all the way down. I don't think it's going to go past the. Actually, let me do everybody a favor. Let me come back to Beyond. I know what you're thinking, right? The first thing you're thinking is, oh look, we broke that $5, so there's no way it goes back under $5. But there's no real guarantee. The company is terrible. They don't return money to shareholders. They haven't for a long period of time. They're not even $100 million company. 76, they're losing revenue. A lot of people cut ties with Beyond. It's the contracts that they've been losing that kind of makes this effect. So there's just a lot of question marks as far as a long-term investment. But if you're going to take it as a trade, yeah, it's above my 800 EMA on the 2 hour. So I don't mind running with that. And if it gets to $3, I am getting out. Period. If it gets to 300 and it shows $3 and it shows a reversal, then I'm going to go ahead and play it back up again because there's activity, there's volume, there's people participating inside of the market. But it doesn't mean that I want to go ahead and take a YOLO position and think I'm gonna be okay. Look how long it took this volume. This volume hasn't kicked in for months. There was nothing here. None. So just to kind of let you know, it's only because people are talking about it from here. The person probably already got in their first position, average, and then now we're getting that takeoff. Let this volume die. This thing's gonna plummet. It's gonna plummet. So just be careful. I'm not saying for you not to trade it, not to play around with it or anything, but Beyond is not a company that makes money, so no investors are going to get in. So you can't just buy and hold these type of tickers. All right, let's get back to NQ. It's now 9:45. We're doing opening range breakout. So this is our range. Look at what they did. They bought it all the way back up. These are jerks. All right. Look like Bitcoin is building themselves in order block as well. So look out for Bitcoin. They're in a state of neutrality that can cause some type of consolidation. Just be patient. That's a big buy up. Are they going to go ahead and reattack this wick, or is this going to be our catalyst to play to the upside the whole entire day? I'm going to take a stab on the upside when this thing starts to break out. Let's see what we can get. All right, what else do I see here? Oh, you know what? Hold on. Let me bring my daily back again. Did we get to that one? Oh, we got close. Oh, we're going to go back down. We're too close to this that we don't go test it. 155. Let's get that 155. Let me find a spot. Let me not panic and do something crazy. We're going down to 155. There's no way that we get this close and we can't test a 50% of a day. Damn, look at that volume candle. Javi, look at that spike. That's bigger than yesterday. Look at that. That's crazy. All right, considering shorting now. Let's see if what I can gather here. All right, I'm looking at short under 229. If this holds, I'm gonna risk about $250 to see if this is gonna pan out. Now they could kidnap me and then go all the way to this opening range. That's a possibility, but I'm gonna take that first stab and see what they're trying to do. Normally we'll wait for a 5-minute close above, but I think we're gonna test the 155. Now, could we get here and then test the 155? Yeah, possibly. Could they scare me off and then get it up there? Yeah, possibly. But that's why I'm going with something light to kind of see what the market can give me. If I'm right, this thing should just drop like a lead weight all the way to 155 with some pullbacks here and there. But that 155 is sexy. All right, show me light green, so I'm going to tighten up my stop because I know it's a little risky. So I'm going to tighten it up to, let's aim for 175, maybe 150 on this short. That's going to be my stop. Come down to the 5 minutes so you can see what I'm seeing. This is that massive move. Fair value gap is failing. Excuse me, I got to get some water. Do me a favor, Baba. Get me some water, please.
Okay.
All right. Like I said, 175 is going to be my relative stop. Oh, there goes that cascading effect. That's what I'm looking for. Come on, let's keep on pushing. So I saw $100. And then they took it back. So I'm going to stop myself at negative, let's call it negative 100. Negative 100. I was going to say negative 75, but let's go with negative 100. And don't forget, down below I got my links. BYTTT morning show, mindsets on Saturdays. If you ever been to one of my mindset class, they are great, right? So you want to kind of keep in touch with your psyche because the market will toy with it. Charting classes at 4:15 in the afternoon, Sunday through Thursday. And look out for the weekly updates at after the trades. They are fighting this thing. All right. I just lost $100, so I'm gonna just call that. That's fine. I did saw 165, 170, but I'm not gonna toy with that. I'm gonna let them get themselves trapped because I think we'll probably tap up here and then just dump again. They're trying to stay above that 250 level, which is a psychological level, 25 250. So I think we're gonna wait for the opening range breakout. Let's see if we can get a break above here. Not confident on it, but that's probably gonna be our play, our attempt. See if we can get a $3,000 day. That's what I'm looking for. Thank you, Baba.
You're welcome.
All right, they're trying to take another shot to that downside again. Let's see if it breaks. I'm looking for it to break under. Let's call it under 247. If it breaks under 247, I'll attempt another short again. Attempting to go ahead and fill that rest of that fair value gap. Safer spot would probably be inside of here. But I think they're trying to use the 250 as support. All right, we got Google an alert. Let's go ahead and see what Google is doing. Google alerts. All right, so Google is flirting with an upside move. So if you're going to play Google, let me go ahead and mark this off for y'all on an option play. So it probably looks something along the lines of that, right? In the next 9 minutes, let's see if we can get a close above 256.72, which will coincide with our QQQNQ breaking out of that upside too. So just keep that in mind. 256.72 on Google. Let's see if we can find some trades inside of that. So I'm probably gonna follow suit with y'all. Google. 2-day expiration. No, I don't want to do that. I want to do probably next week expiration. And then we're probably going to end for that 256. That's what it was. So we're going to aim for a little bit above that with some solid open interest. Let us risk. I think the 280 should be fine. Let me come back over to Google again. 263 is the target, but I don't want to pay that much. So yeah, I'm gonna go with 280s, maybe even 275. Yeah, 275 is probably the lowest I'm gonna go. I mean, the highest I'm gonna go. All right, so let's aim for 275. Let's go back to NQ because this thing is trying to flirt through that breakout. Let's get a 5-minute chart on, and I just need confirmations. I don't want to just jump in just to jump in. So this is where it's very important that you be patient. But we're looking for Google to the upside, which is going to add to our catalyst for playing the upside. 2 minutes and 21 seconds, and then we could probably play the upside on our NQ. It's kind of overheated a little bit on some of these time frames, though. Let me see if we get in ourselves any chart patterns. Let me put you up here. NQ. 1 minute. Let's see what this is doing. No real pattern. We had a falling wedge. That's what kind of made us come down to this 209 level. But oh my God, that 155 price is so sexy. I'll tell you. If we could get NQ at 155, we'll get a nasty little bounce, and we'll probably make more money that way than this bounce here. So I do not like this. All right, we got 1 minute and 26 seconds. Do we get a close above the level? Our level is 271.50. Yeah, the better trade is that 155. Look at how we're rising on low volume on this 5 minute. Very low volume. Unless there's some stop losses up here, we're probably not going to get no real volume here. All right, we got 29 seconds. Probably going to be taking this to the upside. Yes. Oh my God, Papa John's did me so wrong. Papa John's was terrible. But you know, I like it because it gave me an experience. That's why my long terms are a little bit better now, because that was a good experience in itself. All right, let's get ourselves a little bit of a curl up. I don't want this thing to just tank when I get in here. Google got 5 more minutes until we get that 15-minute confirmation. So we're only doing the NQ right now, okay? So kind of give y'all this right here. If y'all still look at Google. Still no entry here. No entry. They're rejecting it. That's not a good sign. We don't want that. We want it to close above that line. Wait for entries, folks. I'm telling you, it makes your heart not skip a beat. What stock is that? Unable to see it? Oh, it was Google. Let me go back to it. It was Google. Right here. So we're getting an entry above here. That will be 256.72 if you can't see it. I don't know, you might be on mobile. Maybe it's tiny for you. But yeah, 256.72. That's what we're looking for. All right, so NQ did not close above there. And look at how Google is starting to cascade. They might sweep liquidity of everybody that got in too early. So just be careful. Again, wait for a nice close above on the 15-minute. Let's see how much they give back. Coming back over to NQ. Yeah, that thing looks like it wants to push back down. I'm curious on Beyond right now because I'm hearing my wife in the background. I guess they were playing around with Beyond too. Oh, see what I mean? You know what? You know what? Let me. This is what I mean. Like, look at what Beyond just did. It kind of gave 643, and then now it's starting to come down. And again, it might bounce, but it's just way too volatile. This thing can put you in a very large world of hurt. Oh, there's our rejection. There is our rejection. They might sweep liquidity if we get into wrong. We got to get a right spot. So we did not get the 5-minute close above. They grabbed the 5-minute liquidity. I need a nice little bounce somewhere so I can find a spot for me to get in, because right now you do not look tempting. You look like you're going to cause me problems if I try to get in now. But I think they want that 155. I think that's what that is. We came into this area almost like going for the fair value gap. It looked like they're trying to use opening range to reload their position. If we get any 5-minute candle close above here, it's going to be a heavier leverage. That's what we're looking for. Oh, news. That I did forget. Let's go over to the news. I want to say something is popping up today, but I forgot to go back to it. I saw it yesterday. My FX book is a good one. If you want to use Forex Factory, that's good too. We got oil inventory. Okay, so it must have been earlier. Okay, it was just oil inventory. So oil inventory, we got 17-week bill auction and then bonds at 1 o'clock. So that's going to play a factor. And then tomorrow we're going to finally get some jobless numbers. That's going to be shocker, especially after everybody's complaining about food stamps and everything and all the government shutdown. Like, people are losing their Section 8 and everything. Oh, man. It's getting crazy. Okay, I'm thinking about shorting this here, but I'm going to go really light here. And these are not shit. I was about to say, or these are the shorts. These are the shorts. Here we go. We're in it. Let's see what happens at this point. I'm looking for us to break a level at 239 and continue down. And then after that, we can put some pressure around that 222 and come down a little further. Again, we could bounce here relatively violently because they want that opening range breakout, and plus they already liquidated quite a bit of bears here. But it depends on how this next 1 hour candle comes in. If you want to go ahead and take a peek, this is what a 1 hour candle looks like so far. We're in the middle of a doji right now, so this is a first shot at taking this 1 hour fair value gap. Is this the beginning of a 1 hour? Just continue to the upside? Very, very possible. So be patient. Make sure your leverage is light because we are counter trend trading. We are counter trend trading. All right, here we go. Let's see what happens here. Oh, I was expecting like a massive dump here. They look like they're rebuilding their position and it wants to go back up. Not a fan of that. Gonna risk $250. As soon as it hits that, I am out of it because, yep, there it goes. They are really toying with it. Come on. You rejected the opening range. Let's go to the 155. It's better buyers down there. Come on. Come on, baby. Come on. I got to get off that 250. They are being tough with this range. So we got to wait for a 5-minute break above. All right. So we just got a nice little alert here. Not every trade is going to be positive. That's $700 that I just risked, and I'm going to need to see what's going on here. So we got Google, I already covered that, and then something just popped up on NQ. What was NQ? What just popped up? Okay, there we go. 10 o'clock. Okay, oh, I got it. So guess what we got, Javi? We got ourselves a doji. So let's see if we can get a breakout at the top of this area here. That's probably why I'm dealing with some chop. This is indecision in itself. We're fighting that order block. Let's go check out Google. Did it recover? Nope. It came back to the stop loss. But I don't get rid of this yet until we get rid of the alert. So that alert would get rid of like somewhere down here. So it's still viable. As soon as we close above here, we could really push up. So I'm going to be patient with Google. Yeah, I'll be patient. We'll take our time. All right, they're flirting with a 5-minute close above. We got 2 minutes and 42 seconds. This can triple top here. See? Tough. Just tough. How much equity I have left? I got a little bit left. Look at that. Nice rejection off of there. All right. Breaking that 250 is going to be key. And first shot's here. Let's see if we can finally get this short. Again, same thing, 239 and down here at 222. I'm going to risk, yeah, they're not going to break it. They're not going to break it like that. They're dancing in the range. All right, let's play range at this point. I'm going to break out of this here as soon as it shows me my stop. All right, I'm going to tighten it up. Down 100. Gonna tighten at 150. Come on. Keep me in the trade by following the rules. If you break the rules, you out. Fired. Just like that. 150 is my loss on that. So this is what I'm thinking is happening, Javi. You remember what exercise we did yesterday? It's almost like the 15 minutes is doing the work, right? So we got ourselves the extremes. Oh, okay. No worries, no worries. So I think these are our extremes right now. So now that we kind of came back to this bottom, more buy orders are sitting somewhere around this area because it's 250. I think I probably would play one last time on this setup if it breaks this 236. Just to let y'all know, folks, I'm on an evaluation because I knew today was going to be very choppy. So it's not my PA. I'm just getting my exercise in. This is how my brain can process seeing all this information. I'm learning more on how to play inside of ranges and recognizing them. So paper trade. It's good to paper trade. And after you're done paper trading, go back and paper trade. Because if LeBron James can practice inside of the gym his jump shot, and his whole career during his rookie, his first 5 years, he couldn't make a jump shot to save his life. All you want to do is dunk on people. It takes the gym. It's all about what you do in the gym, folks. All right, we'll probably wrap up YouTube at 10:15 because we didn't have a serious play, and then we'll focus on y'all boys. See if there's any questions. I want to play that range back up, but it's a tricky one. It is a tricky one. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I did it.
We're at the bottom of the range, but that range ain't going nowhere. I think they're gonna curl this over now. We're kind of doing this right now, and we're doing it against whatever happened here. Not saying that that's going to follow it, but that's what it looks like in my head. Nope, not worrying about you, TTT. All right. Are they still buying the dip here? Looks like they are. And 260, I'm going to play the upside. All right, we didn't close above 260. All right, lower leverage. We're going to play the downside. So if I'm in the range, I'm going to play the range. I'm going to raise the leverage. That way I can make my money as quickly as possible. If it doesn't get up, then going back to the 260 again. Look at that. This is choppy. This is the stuff that blows accounts. That's why we tell y'all, mark your levels, set your entries. Don't just go ahead and just willy-nilly into stuff. There goes the 260 holding. Let's see if we can grab that. So it's a solid push. Get to the top of the range up here. Let me get ready to put my stop loss into profit. Oof. Damn, it hit it before I could put it in profit. Come on. Get on top of that range. Come on, baby. Come on. Get on top of that range. You're doing all this dancing. It's a fist fight. Not a good sign. I thought I could push it into profit by now, but they are holding this thing. Come on, baby. All right, come on. We reloaded. Get through there. There we go. All right, and put my stop in profit. Let's go ahead. Push, 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 push. Come on. That's 400. Come on. One more. One more push so I can make this hit the top. 346. All right, boom. Let's tighten that. Let's go. Get up there. Ah. Only gave me 400. All right, that's all right. Now, the reason why I wanted to get out, because this has act as an area of resistance on this scalp, and this is still pushing like it wants to go to the downside. So, cleaned up a little bit of my mess, made up some of my cash, but you already know they are putting a lot of selling pressure here. Can it continue to the upside? Absolutely. But a 5-minute close above, I probably would have held it, but I wasn't confident it was going to get there. That's why I tightened up my stop against it. Take another look at Google because it's still in the middle of its setup. Come on. Google. Yeah. So they're trying to build a base here. If the institutions can build a base here and then get us into the entry up there, then I'm okay with that. Then I can stand on the shoulders of giants. But if the and then we got the gap here. But if the institutions don't do that, yeah, we're not doing that. We're not going to go ahead and give our money, to the market without no support. You see? And that's why I sold it off, because that type of stuff can happen. We might be going to stranger danger, Javi. This might be your type of play. Breaking out of the box. Give it a little bit of a push. New 5-minute candle. So we're going to finish the 15-minute inside of here. I wonder if this is going to finish. You know what? Let me look at this level. In the next 5 minutes, if we close below here, I would say get yourself some QQQ puts and all of that. That thing probably is going to go ahead and dump, because we're going to go straight to stranger danger, and then we're going for that 155. And then at 155, we can buy it back up and then play the momentum back up. That's what I'm thinking is going to end up happening. That was my original thesis. Look at that push. Look at that push. We're getting out of that range. That's that 5-minute range right there. Patience, patience, and patience, folks. Oh, Javi had to go. I should have reversed the trade. That probably would have been the real play. We're basically at the 50% of the New York session for the most part. New York sessions opened a little bit earlier than 9:30, and I got the level of like 265. That's sorry, 255, somewhere around there. That's our equilibrium. Look at that. Volume is dying. Volume is dying hard. Don't know how I feel about that one. Going into this fair value gap, might get a little bounce off of here. Well, if we get a close in 2 minutes and 57 seconds under here, there we go. Straight to stranger danger. Giant, please tell me you're into this one. Going to stranger danger. On the cues? Okay. Yeah, just be careful with stranger danger because that one can give a bounce. Psychological 200 plus the fact that we're going through here, and psychological 225 is there too. All right, we filled most of the fair value gap here, and they're trying to catch it here. 2 minutes and 25 seconds. If we could close below here, we could probably get ourselves a continuation, and I'll mark off the continuation for y'all. Let's go over back to Google. Let's see what that game is doing. They took out that base. Probably could get a nice little flush here on that imbalance if this thing starts to really take off. Let's see. All right, back to NQ. All right, last call for tickers before we get out of there for YouTube. If you have any tickers, let me know. Or forever hold your ticker. All right, we got a minute and 35 seconds. All right, they're getting the rest of the fair value gap. Oh, I should have reversed. Oh, look at that drop. That's 31 points right to stranger danger. Shout out to Javi. Like, I know Javi would have loved this type of play if he was on the road. All right. Giving it the cushion, because if I'm going to play this in Galaxy, all right, cool. I'll check out Galaxy. Given the 15-minute is doing what it's doing right here, I am going to set something up that's going to look like this. Giving us a solid entry below that level. And actually, let me put this in global so I can get it everywhere. Perfect. 28 seconds. You're not going to wait for me, huh? You're going to try to dump even further so fast, aren't you? All right. I just want to see a pullback come in. They attempt to try to get that opening range, and then when that fails, we can find a spot. 13 seconds. Yeah, that was the move. That reversal was the move. Look at that continuation. Come on. You're not going to give me at least an ounce of a pullback. You're just going to dump like that. Nah, no, that's not how you look at it. Remember, you saw the 20%. You made your money on the 20%. Win-win, right? But when you look at it, when you get to like 30, 35%, then you can lock in 20%. But then that's when you got that comfort, that cushion. Don't remember, we're compounding. We're not trying to do anything relatively crazy. You see 20, take 20 until you get the money that you're looking for. You know what I'm saying? All right, so probably going to get a reversal here. But before I get into that, let me go check out Galaxy so that way I can let YouTube go. Galaxy, like, again, as I stated, this one is a very tricky one because we were looking for it to hold a certain level. Now, remember, when we say hold a certain level, that means this level needs to hold, which was that entry, 41.39. Now, the funny thing about it, earnings I thought was going to be at night, not in the morning. So it kind of screwed the thesis a little bit later. So because we're below the stop loss, you should be considering getting out. Do we think that there's going to be some type of bounce? That bounce needs to show reversal somewhere here, but we don't have enough days in that because of this pullback. So just don't do anything reckless with Galaxy right now. But I wouldn't take it again unless it breaks above here. But if it breaks below here, we know that this support is shot. It's completely shot. So since it's shot, we're just going to go ahead and just completely cancel out the trade. But for right now, this 41.39 needs to happen. Yes, I'm. Are you in? Is that what you're saying? I'm in. Because if you're already in, that stop loss is already hit. That's what this is for, to kind of protect you. And by the end of the day, let me see, the 30-minute already happened. So the 30-minute already confirmed that this is closed out. The 15-minute, where is the levels? Come on, give me my levels. Right? The 15-minute gave you warning sign after warning sign after warning sign. We're trending down. Oh, you're out waiting for entry. Okay, good. Perfect. So yellow line, caution, entry. That's what we're doing. We're targeting this, but when it goes down here, we can still wait for it, right? Because this was based on a daily. This was a daily one. And as long as it stays above here and it keeps on building up and holding a position, then it's valid. But if this thing does something where it's disrespectful, then that means we're probably going to go ahead and push all the way to the downside, and then it's going to invalidate the trade. So mark off this level, 36.78. Make an alert for it. If you see that, completely throw Galaxy in the trash can. That trade is canceled. All right. All right, YouTube. I want to say thank you very much for typing in. Shout out to Trade Hero for sending some people over. I appreciate y'all, and I will bid y'all fond farewell. Don't forget, tomorrow again at 9:30. All right, folks. Yes. 41.40 is the good entry. Until it gets there, without touching 36.77, that's the trade, and we can go ahead and attack the TP2, which will bring us to $47, and that'll be a good trade. All right, later, y'all. Have a great day. See you tomorrow at 9:30 again. Have a great day.